Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnek here on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnek. In fact, Eyes on Sports is the more updated version of the show. So, admittedly, it still says Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnek on my hat and shirt, but on the YouTube channel also. But Eyes on Sports, you'll see there the term there which I've used. And of course, the banner on the bottom shows you that we're live for the ICC Men's T20 World Cup final, the preview between India and South Africa. Disappointingly for Australia, they didn't make it. Probably very content and proud, but also disappointed would be Afghanistan, having missed out in the semi-final. They were routed by South Africa quite comprehensively on a pitch which was dubious yet again. A lot of talk about India as well, how they've gotten through to the final, about having been able to pick the pitch there, and I think it was Guyana that they were at, having that pre-booked as their semi-final location. That's rather disappointing. But India are undefeated, so are South Africa. Some 8 games for India, I think it's 8 games for India, 7 for South Africa. It might be the other way around, but they both had 7 or 8 straight victories without a defeat. So, but the overall tournament itself, albeit a great breakthrough for America to host part of the tournament, with the majority of the end part of it, the semi-finals through to the finals. Excuse me, the Super 8 stage, actually, the Super 8 stage was almost predominantly in the Caribbean. And now we've got the final tonight, or my time at least, daytime there in the West Indies, the Caribbean, in Barbados, Bridgetown, Barbados. The ground, very famous ground, has a great museum next to it. I've been to it not that long ago. Great place. They had the semi-finals both in Trinidad and places like Trinidad, St. Lucia. You had, of course, St. Vincent. It was also used. They used Antigua for earlier games. It's been quite a few years. So a couple of them are generational chokers versus chokers of the decade, isn't it? So the word choker is going to be used quite heavily tonight, because the team that loses will be called a choker, because they both of them will be suffering from it. So the generational chokers, are they are South Africa, I would imagine, and the chokers of the decade would be India. But India have won World Cups. They've been in finals of World Cups. They know what it's like to be there. They're in the recent ODI, or the 50-over World Cup there in India at in Ahmedabad at Narendra Modi Stadium, which I was at. But they're therefore likely to be the winners based on simple fact of experience with finals, winning finals, albeit not recently, but going very close to finals. Now, this is South Africa's very first World Cup final. People say long overdue. Well, it's only long overdue if they've shown they deserve it. And they've been knocked out several times in semi-finals and played abysmally, actually, in that semi-final. They played pretty ordinary match against Australia, and Australia went on to beat India. Just by having played well in the tournament, they played well again this tournament. They just given Afghanistan a real smacking in the semi-final. But when you beat a team comprehensively in the semi-final, that doesn't exactly give you that real edge for a final. Why? Because you haven't had to experience getting out of a difficult situation or winning a game with 1 run to go. They only had that in any of their games, that is South Africa against Nepal, I believe. And Nepal really gave a bit of a touch-up, and they almost lost to Nepal. But yeah, I'm categorically not a fan of South Africa, and I'm not going to hide that just because I'm commentating the game. I find them a very arrogant side. They presume success when it hasn't come, and that's effectively their own fault. So, who do you think will be more under pressure, South Africa or India? More under pressure. I think they're both under pressure. I think India are probably expected to win, and therefore under a bit of pressure there. But as far as South Africa is concerned, they don't understand how to win a match like this, and they're going to find it very, very hard, just purely on not having had that breakthrough match before. India had won World Cups, albeit a while ago. MRF, South Africa will win easily. Um, if South Africa wins easily, will be overcoming a lot of demons in their head and against a really gun Indian side. Now, I would be surprised if that's the way the game goes. Can't believe how the time changes quickly. 2022, and he lost by 10 wickets to England. And this time, they beat them comprehensively by 60 runs. That's a lot in T20 eyes. Yeah, look, England had a very funny World Cup this time around. They were, you know, almost didn't make the Super 8s. If Australia beat Scotland, Australia allowed Scotland to win that match, England would not have made the Super 8s. So, yeah, I'm not going to knock that way. India looking really, really good. Mark Kumar, I still doubt that India's batting at top three goes quickly in the middle. Shivam Dubé is not having much of experience. Who can help? Look, yeah, Dubé is probably not as experienced, but then they got Hardik Pandya. You know, he's a champion himself. Jadeja can come through these tours. Even the bowlers of India can bat somewhat. The direct hit. The only team that can beat India at the moment is India themselves. Well said. I rather like that comment. That's probably, you could effectively say the same thing for South Africa, although South Africa are not expected to win this. So we'll repeat that again. The only team that can beat India at the moment is India themselves. I would say that would be the case, but India know that South Africa, they know that South Africa is, I'll get it right. They know that South Africa is going to be very much wanting to win. So for money, you're telling lies. For money, you're telling lies. Who am I telling lies for? I don't know. Yeah. Don't you think by conducting every year a tournament, it's making people attraction towards it? Okay, I would agree with that. We are probably a bit over those World Cups. We haven't last got this one, but it'll settle down again now because now we've gotten through COVID. We've caught up with the ones that we didn't see. I think it'll be a bit more balanced. It'll be a bit of a gap. Will we go with three spinners again? Mark Kumar says, well, I can't imagine India will change their lineup, to be honest. I can't see them not changing their lineup. The directing, I was in Ahmedabad at the game on 19 November. A win today will heal a lot for the fans. True. Norman is overrated. MRF, do you reckon they're overrated? Well, I don't think so at all. They're consistently making World Cup finals and semi-finals. So are South Africa, but they're not making finals. But this is their first time. No, India are not overrated at all. So both teams will go with no changes. I think you're right. Yeah, I think both teams will go without any changes. I can't imagine them changing the teams. No reason to change the teams. The pictures will be pretty much the same yet again. Norman, India will be showing the true path today. Okay, MIV, we'll wait and see. Deepak Hera, Team India is going to win, that's for sure. Well, you can't help but say that they will win. Is that a bad thing for India to be expected to win? Is that put a heat pressure on them? I think the lack of experience in South Africa in a final will tell. Markham has been pretty impressive. The bowling has been pretty good. But the fast bowling of South Africa, such as you know, Rabada and the like, will actually suit the Indian batters more than not suit them, to be honest. And these players have played each other in the IPL a truckload of times. So there's no shocks here for India at all. So after winning the toss, both teams will want to bat first. Um, well, Australia won the World Cup last time by bowling first. South Africa threw Afghanistan won the toss and decided to bat first, which I thought was a great thing. They fell apart. Yeah, I think batting first is the way to go. And then they put heaps of pressure on the opposition. Why they picked Duvet instead of Rinku, why they chose Virat instead of Joel. Okay. The Duvet selection is a bit of an interesting one for me. I'm not really aware of why he's there, to be honest. In the case of Kohli, he's not going anywhere. Jaswal would have been great to have as an opener with Rohit. In fact, I've heard batting orders with Rohit Sharma, Rohit Sharma and Jaswal opening, Kohli at number 3, and put Punt further down to finish the innings off. That would have been a better way of putting this batting line, if you ask me. Power play is a crucial for both teams, of course. Power plays are always crucial for both sides. Punde, ever, even if we win this World Cup by 19th, and it's all hurting us. That's true. Manish Pal, if pitch is not like New York pitch, India will win one-sided. If it's not like the New York pitch, well, it's Barbados. It's a known Test ODI and T20 wicket. It's pretty good pitch, I would argue. Will favour both bat and ball, and we'll probably we'll take on spin as well. A bit like a Melbourne pitch, I'm guessing. So, okay. Bye, Norman. You are lying to all these foolish Indians. We will win. We'll win with today. Show you both. That's we'll win that one side. I don't agree with you at all. I'm not. Just because we've got India playing, I'm not just favouring India. I don't think South Africa's got it, and I'll explain why. South Africa cannot handle big matches. They've proven it in so many World Cups. They've won the semi-final against Afghanistan that really had never been there before, and they played well. But the fact that they've beaten them so convincingly, I even more think they're not going to win today, as it's very typical that they'll be not as good. They will not get through the inning batters like they did the Afghanistan batters. India should win this based on experience in finals as recently as the ODI. I don't believe it at all. Okay. The direct hit weather update, all clear and crisp so far in Barbados. Well, that's a good sign. I'm happy about that. The weather will be significant. It'll be very significant. Indeed. I can see my bat there. Over there is signed by the likes of Sir Wes Hall, Curtly Ambrose. Norman, you always be genuine, but split the truth, brother. Uniforms are overrated. Uniforms are uniform? Wait, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Can Bumrah overtake McGrath till the end of his career? In terms of test wickets, Krishna should play. In terms of test wickets, why not? It's all a matter of how much we play. Marcus Lawrence got on money. Munchie is not around at the moment, but I'm sure come on. We'll make comments later on, I'm sure. Cricket popularity in South Africa is at a decline. If they win this, they can help. When you say it's in decline, I don't know. South Africa seem to be pretty keen on their cricket. If they win, of course it'll help. But if they lose again, they won't be very happy. Yes, it could have a net detrimental effect. I kind of agree. Norman's satisfy Indians for money, but cut is something we'll say. I'm satisfy India for money, but South Africa. MRV, what does MRV stand for? You need to own up to who you are. South Africa will win. I don't think there's a reason to say definitively they will. We're getting some. Norman, what should be India's choice if they will win the toss? And the pitch. India will probably bat first. Rohit Sharma loves to bat first. He thinks runs on the board are very important. His bowlers, Kuldeep Yadav and the like, love to bowl and to defend the total. I think that's the way to go. That's what he'll do. VK, do you think there's only any chance that everyone might win this match? And if yes, how? I think no. I'm quite adamant about that. Manu John here. How are you? Manu John. And he'll get their first ICC Cup since 2013. Okay, it has been 10 years, but they have won World Cups before. South Africa have not done that, and it's the real issue here. Second batting is hell for. Why is it second? Why is second batting hell in Barbados? I don't think that's the case at all. it's a fairly neutral type of pitch. It's probably the right pitch to pick for a final for a World Cup out of all the West Indian pitches, all the West Indian pitches. I would argue that the pitch there in Barbados is probably the fairest. Trinidad wasn't all that bad either. Managed whole, not the time. South Africa better like next time. Well, I think it's a fair comment to say that South Africa will need to have some sort of effort in the final before they can expect to win one. I think that heavily. They've got experienced players, yes, mainly IPL experience more than else. So Dixie Gondia, what do you think the India will make any changes to squad? I've said earlier, India will remain unchanged, so will South Africa, I reckon. She said India will win the World Cup, I believe so. But Bumrah is obviously a good bowler, but people are taking him to the status of Marshall McGrath. Well, he's heading in that direction, let's be honest. Afghanistan's second batting struggle to hell. Yeah, Manu, John, you're right. Afghanistan, it's very sad about them because they've done, no, it's not sad. They have made a semi final in a World Cup. Top four teams. Amazing. Dhaka Indians. Look, the reality is that the biggest choking nation by a country mile is South Africa. India have had moments where they have not won, and you could argue it's almost a form of choking, but they've won these tournaments. They have actually won them. South Africa have won no tournaments. What's Mother Johnny saying in Barbados? What are you saying? What's the story there? Anyway, if you look through the reports are that the weather is reasonable, meaning that the play will go on as per program, and I'm pretty sure the teams will be likely to be as per program, meaning the same teams that have gone into the previous matches. I reckon there'll be pretty good chance they will be as per program, meaning the same, and that will be the case. It'll be historic for SA if SA wins. It'll be very historic. It'll be a huge thing for South Africa. The women's team just only the last few days in there, 6 for 600. South Africa 4 for 200. Even the women's choke. According to me, if SA wins the toss, they will bat first and put India under pressure. That will be both teams. Pakistan is in shambles. Manu John. Yeah, well, it is a bit of a mess. I have to admit, it's very sad. They didn't do well in this tournament. They didn't make the Super 8, nor did New Zealand. West Indies made the Super 8, looked like they were promising, but didn't go on to the semis. USA did well, but didn't do well in the Super 8s. But yeah, Sri Lanka were a mess. They didn't make it through either. There's quite a few concerning teams. I mean, realistically, if you look at the top 8 teams in the world today, as it stands, you'd have to go Australia, India, South Africa, Afghanistan, based on what's happened with these 4, but definitely those 4. West Indies wouldn't have now risen back up into the top 8, being a 5th. Bangladesh there is making 6 out of the 8 positions. The other 2 are up for grabs, if you want my honest opinion. You still have to include New Zealand, I would imagine. And then Pakistan are lingering there on 8th, 9th at best. And that's not including, I didn't mention England, I should have mentioned England before. England would also be there. So Australia, India, South Africa, Afghanistan, definitely England, West Indies, then New Zealand. It's not really much depth there for Pakistan, almost out of the top 8. Sri Lanka are out of the top 8 as well. Bangladesh will be the other eighth side. So realistically, Pakistan is 9th and 10th is Sri Lanka as it stands at the moment. I told you, I already saw the cracks opening up with Marsh as captain even before Afghanistan. Mitch Marsh is a curious captaincy role. I mean, Cummins can't be captain for everything. Warner's no longer going to be there. You would think Stark, Hazelwood are also not going to be there next time around. Matthew Wade, should have been here this time, but he's gone as well. There's 4 or 5 changes right there and then. Now, what is the environment in Australia after they knocked out any big change? We didn't really, we didn't talk about very much here at all in regards to it. The only thing that's got a little bit of a mention was the Jonathan Trott effort where Gulbadine held his hammy. That was against, of course, Bangladesh, but Australia claimed that Afghanistan was cheating in that match, and assuming they were cheating in our match, which is crap, rubbish. Australia needs to shut the hell up when it comes to their own ability to talk about otherwise cheating, because we cheated big time. And I'm not going to let Warner, Smith, and the co get away with that. That was disgraceful. Okay. Marsh is not mature enough for captain. Well, he is experienced enough. I'm telling you now, he is. He just didn't really do well this series, and he certainly didn't bat well as well. Okay. Krishna Shukla, Rabada has already out. Has got Sharma out more than any other bowler. Say might not save India, so possibly Kohli's day to day. Well, that would be great if it was the case. Indeed. Now, who we got John Innes now? Baram, you're on. How long? I didn't see you there, right? Did you just join?
Did I just join what?
Did you just join now? Yeah. You were,
Yeah, just
yeah, okay.
just.
All right. Oh, everyone, Baram Rani, our perennial Indian / world fan, is here. He's wearing red. Why are you wearing red?
Yeah, I'll be wearing blue in some time. Going with the family to a bar to watch the match.
So let's be honest. India should win this. There's been comments about both teams being chokers. I don't think you can call India a chokers. They made the World Cup final last year. Admittedly, Australia beat them, but they're deserving of this chance. And if anyone's talking about choking, it has to be directed towards South Africa. And they've never played a final of a World Cup before, an ICC World Cup. So this is they'll be very raw to this. What's your thoughts?
Well, in case of South Africa, yeah, like even the South Africans have accepted that that team is not good at the World Cup. So I have a lot of South African friends, and they say that the team only plays well in between the World Cup. So so that's why they take. So that's with South Africa. That's what I feel in case and in coming to India, yeah. Saying India being chokers, yes, given that they have played so many finals, I would say it's more like lady luck. Maybe it's not that something or the other happens in a critical. Like if you see the last ODI World Cup, it was people would say with the blame, you're blaming something else. Like the pitch was something completely unexpected, and that delayed, like went things off the track. But bottom line is like if you look at really the experience in terms of teams, you would see that India definitely has played much more finals, won some of them. So that puts them in a much better position than South Africa, that is just playing their first final. So this would be something like Afghanistan playing their first semi-final. So who knows? We might see that kind of a similar situation.
You see,
That it becomes a one-sided match.
I mean, I think the semi-final for South Africa was actually, they were very lucky to play against Afghanistan team that had been on such a high the previous night, winning into the semi-final, but they mentally weren't there on the day, and that favoured South Africa immensely, and the bowlers bowled well on a pitch which favoured them. But India, if South Africa bowl fast in this match against India, India's got the batters that will love that pace. Rohit Sharma loves
Yeah,
pace.
I would agree. I think the only bowler that would trouble India would be Rabada. Like really depends if the pitch supports him and he's getting swing. I see the only trouble getting there because spinners wise, I think India would do a good job with let's say if Shamji is playing and also with Maharaj. So the only bowler that I see initially that would cause a problem would be Rabada. The only way, like Norman, I see India losing this match is like they bat first and they end up losing 3 wickets in the first 5 6 overs and with a low score, and end up maybe having a low score, and then South Africa. I don't. That's the only way. Oh, otherwise, if you see the other way, like if India bats but comes up with a decent score of 160, even 170, I think the bowlers can do the job. And the other way around with South Africa batting first, also I don't. I really don't see them scoring big over there.
No, I just I can't see South Africa mentally getting through to today's match. Once the pressure is heaped on them, they will be not able to handle it. I think that's been proven
Mhm.
time and time again. Um, and this is based on what we know. We never know what happens on the day. It could easily be that South Africa might pull a rabbit out of the hat and win the match. If they do, they're going to have to play very well. I'm afraid. And I just
And India needs to play very bad. That's also the thing.
well, if
But
I mean,
I doubt, given the sentiments in the team, like with Rohit and Virat, who, most probably this looks like their last ICC event. I would say ICC white ball event. For definitely they might play the WTC next year, but the last
yeah.
ICC white ball event for Rohit and Virat, so they know what's on the line. So let's see.
So Richard Ojas just says South Africa are handling pressure better in this World Cup. They haven't been tested yet. They've not been tested in the
Yeah,
semi-final.
they have been tested with teams like Nepal and Bangladesh. Now, if you call that as testing, and if you see in a way they like choked over there, I can even say it the other way around. Like they are
Look,
lucky to be like both the Bangladesh match and Nepal match. If you ask me, it's like they were very lucky to win it. Like I won't say that they did. Like if you see Bangladesh match, that if that LBW was, if the decision would have been delayed by 4 seconds, Bangladesh would have made through, and if Nepal would have, in fact, Nepal capitulated under pressure than the other way around. I think Nepal would have also made through.
now I look at the semi-final. Afghanistan were not up to it. South Africa had an easy win. In the case of India beating Australia, that's the form that will win them the World Cup final. If they play the way they did against Australia, they will smash South Africa.
Same. Even against England, I think I saw both the matches fully. If you ask me, I enjoyed the England match much more than, especially when India were bowling and when Kuldeep was bowling. It was like really sweet sweet revenge to watch, and it was really sweet to watch. Like Kuldeep just needs a batsman. Like he just needs a split second to see what the batsman is doing, and he immediately changes his. Either will go with the googly or the straight one, depending on what he comes to the batsman, and completely foxes them. Like
So
if you see, he did that to Maxwell, he then did that to, it was Harry Brook, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, correct.
Dubé, I'll be honest with you, I don't know much about him and his form. How did he get picked in this team?
He did very well in the IPL, especially he was playing very good against the spinners. So, given the West Indies, more spin-friendly pitches, so Dubey was a better choice. But unfortunately, yeah, he, like if you ask me, he has not clicked in any way. Like no outstanding performance to call about. In fact,
I
below
mean, there
par.
was some
Let's just
suggestion
put
that
below par.
Jaswell opens up with Rowett and Kohli goes to three and put Punt down the order where he should be as the keeper. I think they would have been better served doing that.
I also would agree on that. Or but yeah, now in the finals, do you think changing it would make sense? That's the thing. Like, would you
Oh no, I
change
don't think they'll change
in
now.
cricketing
No.
parlance? They do. Yeah, if you are a strategist or you want to look at it, I would, yes, definitely change that. But
I
in
mean, to
cricketing
me,
parlance, not.
Punt's at his best when he's coming in and just going for it towards the end with Hardik Pandya. That'd be perfect pairing, wouldn't they?
Agree. I think Pant is a good player to come in overs maybe 12 to 14. Have a little iron and then just go for it.
But I mean, I guess in all fairness, we've got to really applaud Rishabh Pant. I think I talked about it the other night. After the injuries he has sustained, that car injury, he's lucky to be alive, lucky to have legs, lucky to have sight, lucky not have burns more severe than he had. He's lucky on so many fronts that he's even playing any sport, let alone walking, even let alone playing at this level. And the fact that he can return to this level is quite amazing.
And that too within like I would say a year and a half. Like that's also commendable, Norman. Like he definitely must have put in a lot of effort and a lot of and I would definitely believe there would be a big team behind it also who would go to right from his accident. Like I remember seeing that, and there were bus drivers who actually saved him, like the local state owned bus drivers who actually saved him. So big shout out to them also. Like if you say
So
it's like many people who come into this.
when was it? It was more than 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Honest, yeah, I think it was early 20. Yeah, it was early 2023, if I'm not wrong.
Well, no, it was before. It was before the World Cup in 22. He didn't play the 22 World Cup, did he, in Australia? I don't think he did.
Can't
I'm
jog
curious.
them
I
like.
think it's a lot. I think it's a lot longer ago. I will need to confirm. 2.5 years. Dixie's
See, he
done
did
his
not play
son.
the last IPL because of that. So it happened. He played the last He played this year's IPL, but he did not play last year's IPL because he had that accident just before last year's IPL. So I think it was uh, early 2023. I don't know.
Yeah,
So he played the 2022 IPL, if I'm not wrong.
and Richwick Ojars just made a comment that this, if they win this, it motivates them for the Border Gavaskar Trophy, which is coming up. Yeah, that's a good point. Got 5 massive Test matches starting in a matter of months in Australia. I'm looking forward to that. It'll be a great challenge. It'll show off. Coley. Hopefully, he will. The last time we played, he was the last. It was in the last World Cup when he was here. Not World Cup, sorry. Test series was when during COVID, and he had to go
Mhm.
back anyway because of his wife giving birth.
Yeah,
So
correct.
I'd be good to see
After the
Virat
first
play.
match, then Ajinkya Rane took over.
I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be very exciting. Probably more exciting than the World Cup, to be honest. Okay, Barama, what do you honestly think of this World Cup? Has it been an exciting one, or what's your
Yeah,
thoughts?
definitely very exciting. Like all matches, if you see, even right from associate nations coming up, Afghanistan has been a good revelation. If you see, like it's coming to be a strong power, so that's good overall for world cricket. Then also you see associate teams coming up. If you see USA making it to the Super 8, and that actually gives so USA automatically qualify for the next T20, and you would have another associate team coming from America. So Canada might also qualify for the next T20 World Cup. So overall, I would say it has been a exciting World Cup, and many people even complained on the format, like this leads to team coming out and no. Even I like initially felt this 10 teams playing and that, but then you also need to see that you need to increase the reach of cricket. You need to have more countries. The only way that would when they come into live stream. So this format really helps that with having 20 teams. And for me, I found this World Cup to be like exciting, and it's not the one thing good. Like some would also complain that there is a lot of traveling between and right. But if you see that the World Cup started in early of June, and June is not even over, and the World Cup is getting over. So it's not that your other typical World Cups will drag for like maybe 1.5, almost 2 months. So this is also one thing good about it.
I guess they did use an incredible number of venues, didn't they? Which meant
Mm.
country. Dixie Gunnia says it was December 22nd when Punt
Yeah, so
injured himself.
I'm like early 2023 was something in my mind. So
Okay, that's still an incredible amount of time to recover. Quite
mhm.
phenomenal, really, when you think about it. I mean, It's great to see. What I want to see out of today's matches, I want to see Kohli and Punt really contribute. That would be great. And I do think the actual pace bowling of South Africa will suit India big time. Don't you think?
I think, let's say let's hope it's uh, I hope it's a easy victory. The heart won't be able to take very close match also. Hey, well, anyway, I would be happy with a win. A win is a win, so it does not matter over there.
Let's see. There's any. Okay, now there was some comments there. Shamsi is marking his run. I expect yes. Everyone's expecting no change this side.
Mhm.
It looks as though the weather's good. Everything seems to be pretty much with a bit over an hour before play starts. It's going to be a daytime match there. Who will that suit more? Actual India or South Africa? If it's a day game.
I think if you're just talking about the day wise, I would say it suits. I would say both are equal. Being like just thinking, I don't think it would suit one more the other. And but definitely it would suit the team batting first, and especially it would suit India more if they are batting first, because obviously the pitch will degrade and help the Indian spinners much more. And I feel the Indian spinners are able to get much more out of the pitch, and even a slightest help from the pitch, and they become too deadly.
Yeah, it's you think batting first would be the best way to go. I still think back to the game, the ODI final when Pat Cummins won the toss, elected to bowl, and I thought that was a big mistake, but it turned out to be a correct decision.
Yeah, Pat Cummins read the pitch very well. Yeah, Manish is also resonating with me.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine them. I can't imagine them doing anything other than batting first. South Africa might surprise us and throw and if they might bowl first. But
But like let's take the case Norman. If South Africa wins the toss, what would they do?
sorry, say that again.
If South Africa win the toss, what would they do? They would bat first for sure.
No, I don't think it's for sure. I don't think it's for sure
Hmm.
because I got yeah. Yeah, you would think no. I'll take that back. I think technically both sides will want to bat first. Okay, I can't
Hmm.
imagine because if South Africa if they put a lot of runs on, they can put enormous pressure on India in the second innings, and India are more likely to win if they bat first. There's no doubt. Okay, it will have to be, I think, a general decision expected that out of the two teams, they'll both bat first if they get the opportunity. But I'm just forgetting that for a moment. Do you think, in your mind, India have rights to claim supremacy before this match starts?
Claim in what terms, Norman? Like anyway, that makes it's Indian who lifts the cup, so that's more important.
No, but I mean, I want you to put your head on, not think from your heart. India deserve it, not so much deserve it, but
I
India
would say
should win. Why? Why will India win?
one, India's wins have been much more comprehensive coming into the final. They have looked like a more gelling team, whereas with South Africa, if you see, uh, their wins have been like very close. In and couple of victories were like, if you say with Bangladesh and Nepal, were more the other team capitulating than South Africa coming up with something great. If the only match I would really credit South Africa would be the match against England, where they were able to defend that 13 runs in the last over. So that's the only match, if I would say, I would give credit. Another more, let's say, if I would see a historical wise, I would say, given that India have been in so many much more finals, they would be able to handle the pressure more. They know what to do in that case for. South Africa, that's completely new. So, so given these two factors, I would say one is the current form, the way the if you look at the both teams that have come into final, and also historical wise, as supremacy wise, yeah, I would say, and this is not really talking being an Indian, but like really looking at otherwise, let's say if you want to say something for South Africa, what would you say? If let's
Yeah.
say you want to be the devil's advocate, Norman, and you want to say South Africa clean, like what would you pinpoint up?
What would I say?
Hmm.
Oh, look, I just don't. I think it's insurmountable if you have never played a final of the World Cup and you're a team that hates pressure, which is what exactly was going to happen. They're going to fall. Another reason it was lucky for South Africa they played against an off Afghanistan team to make the final, but it was also unlucky because they weren't tested in that semi final. They had it too easy, so their test is going to come in the final, which is too late to start finding out how they really are. I South Africa have to play out of their skin, have to dominate early, have to hopefully win the toss first, or if they do bowl first, take several wickets as they did against Afghanistan. Otherwise, if India get any chance to get going, they've got enough depth with Pandya and even Jadeja there towards the end to do some damage with the bat. And the Indian bowlers are far too experienced, outrageously experienced in T20 conditions, especially Bumrah. But then Kuldeep Yadav has been absolutely fantastic. Jadeja knows how to squeeze. I mean, they really have got in Hardik Pandya, they're all very, very
I would say, in
experienced.
fact, Aksar and Kuldeep are doing the squeezing. Jadeja is he's not hitting the lines correctly, so that's let's hope he is able to get that good today.
Oh, look, these guys click into mode on a final. They'll know how to up their game. They'll know how to up their game. And there'll be, expectations of doing well. I mean, I'm particularly keen on seeing Rowett bat. I think Rowett, to me, holds the early key to this, and the way he played against Australia was phenomenal. He played really well against Australia, and that's my gauge because they beat Australia convincingly. They're going to beat South Africa convincingly because Australia versus South Africa would have been Australia winning that without a doubt. And
Agree,
I
agree. And then it would be India Australia final. So one way I would say it's good for India.
Well, what you heard Robert Sharma's press conference when he was asked about Australia, he said, "What's the one thing he's happy about? That he's happiest because they're not playing Australia in the final." And it was cheeky, it was funny, but it was probably that you talk about choking or a hoodoo when India play Australia in a final of a World Cup, they don't beat them, do they? India have not beaten
Hmm.
Australia in a World Cup final. Obviously not. Australia,
Yeah,
on the other
correct.
hand, have beaten
Don't
them.
remember the finals that all India won have not been against Australia. So definitely not.
No, but it's the game to win the World Cup, they've never played Australia.
Yeah.
And
They won
India versus
semi-finals, yeah, but not the
no,
actual
not a
final.
fight, not to win the thing. No, a
But
lot of people
but
make.
then they met Australia how many times in the final? Also, it's the only times I remember was the 2003 World Cup and the ODI 2003 World Cup, and
But
then
they've
yeah.
won both the T20 World Cup and the ODI World Cup. ODI recently as last year, the T20
Hmm.
not that long ago, and they've also won the World Test Championship. They really are winning everything. Well, they have won everything. This time around, they've been brought back down to earth, and as we said, a lot of changes will happen. Warner, Wade, Stark, Hazelwood, and they're definitely not playing again
Hmm.
in a World Cup. Um, I don't know about Cummins at this stage, but he would have only a short while left. They're really, even in the batting department, I mean, they're going to have to find some way around. Um, who's going to open with Warner? Well, see, I'm not a Travis Head fan as an opener, but anyway, Fraser McGurk's there. There's a few that are there, but they're going to have to do some serious working out of who's playing that vital opening role, especially for the Border Gavaskar Trophy in a few months' time. I'm very curious to see who Australia put as their opener because of the importance of
Warner
it.
has retired from Test also, right? Correct.
Khawaja, no.
David Warner, has he retired
Warner's,
from Test?
Warner first retired from Tests end of or the beginning of this year, and now
Mm-hmm.
T20 and ODI as well. And he didn't get a chance to have a big send off during the World Cup because we lost and we didn't know whether we were going to play again. They couldn't celebrate that.
Okay.
Interesting,
Yeah,
very interesting.
sad to see Warner retiring. But yeah.
Yeah, and Steve Smith is also another one that's no longer in the frame for this format. Or Test cricket is still there, but other
Mm-hmm.
formats he's not. Yeah, they
He's
should
out
have
of
played
ODI
Johnson.
also. Steve Smith.
Sorry.
Steve Smith is out of ODI also.
Yeah, well, perhaps not quite yet, but it won't be long before he will be. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure he will be. Um, and,
But
and
also, like Norman, if you see moving nowadays, people will look at ODI only when the ODI World Cup that year comes and people start playing some ODI before that. Otherwise, right now it's only Test and T20s that are going on. Nobody talks about ODIs also. That's
well, the 50th World Cup last year was pretty impressive.
hmm.
Um, have they got plans? I'm not sure offhand. They've got 20 teams which played the World Cup this time around for the shorter format of T20. But are they going to 20 for ODIs in the future? Or is it just a T20 phenomenon?
It will only be the T20. I think the next World Cup, ODI World Cup, is also just 10 teams, and they might go with the same
Where
format.
is that? Where is that going to be?
Ah,
I don't think it's not
no
been
idea.
announced. Is it?
I
I've
think
no
it's
idea.
announced already.
Huh?
I think it's announced. We can have a look.
Well,
The next
I don't think it's not Australia, that's for sure. We've got a few years. I think the next time we have anything World Cup related is 27 at the earliest. I think. Are you looking it up, are you?
Yeah.
Well, it's 11:30. The game starts in an
South
hour.
Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia.
Where? South Africa?
South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Namibia.
Is the ODI next World Cup? Is it?
Yeah, 2027. That's far away.
ODI. And the
Yes.
T20 World Cup then would be
T20, if I'm
4
not
years.
wrong, no, T20 is every 2 years. So the next one will be in 2026. And if I'm
Right.
not wrong, it's in Sri Lanka.
It's Sri Lanka, is it?
Yeah, the next T20
Okay.
World Cup.
So the T20 World Cup is in 26 in Sri Lanka. Just Sri Lanka.
That I'm not 100% sure, but I think the main is definitely Sri Lanka. And
Right.
next year you have the Champions Trophy in Pakistan. So that's
So
going to be a
26
ODI format actually.
So 26 Sri Lanka, 28 ODI
20,
in
27 ODI
27. Okay.
in.
So 26 Sri Lanka, 27 South Africa, Namibia, and Zimbabwe. Okay. So I think it might be 28 back here. I think. I don't know, but it'll be a while
Mhm.
off. I'm kind of glad.
Yeah,
I
but
like to get
next
going.
year we have the Champions Trophy. That's ODI format.
Yeah. When you say we, India.
In Pakistan.
Thanks. So. Because there's an Asia Cup for the women next month. If I'm able to, I'm dealing with a property matter now, and if I can get that done, I'll be going to that hopefully. So it'll be good.
Okay.
All right, we've already discussed enough about India and South Africa. I mean, the South African team is a pretty good one. Let's be honest, it is a pretty good one. They've got a pretty. I mean, David Miller's certainly a
I
champion
think
player.
Markham has been a very good captain. Like he has got the team has played very well under him, especially after last it was
They were
Temba
very
Bavuma.
ordinary. They were ordinary with Bavuma. Oh my God, he was
Yeah,
horrible.
agree.
And I mean, and they got that young Tristan Stubbs. There are quite a few
Mhm.
players that play IPL now. In fact, all of them do. I think the
Yeah, all
entire
over.
11. I think the entire 11 plays in the IPL.
You
Klassen
see,
has
majority of
proved,
South Africa, England, even if you say Afghanistan, I would say at least more than 50% of their playing 11 plays IPL for sure.
yeah. Oh, it's a great. I mean, there's no doubt the IPL is the best T20 format in the world. It is by far the best. It's the strongest. It's the best paid. Australia's BBL is very ordinary. Most of the players that play BBL don't play in the World Cups. In
Hmm.
fact, if you go through the England players, the Australian players that play the BBL, the Big Bash, almost none of them play, or hardly any of them play higher than that. It's really become a second tier T20 competition, which is very sad indeed. It's very, very sad. All right, we've got. I got on a bit early. I was only supposed to start now, but I got on a bit early. I just thought I'd just test the
I,
waters a bit.
I I saw you got earlier, and actually, I also wanted to go out with the family to watch the match. So we're going to
Where are you going?
it. It's a restaurant and bar over here in Jakarta. So we'll be going there.
In
It's
Jakarta.
a
How have
Indian
you found
Indian.
Jakarta? How has Jakarta been?
Been good for me. Work has been good. Life has been good. So that should nothing to complain about.
Where do you live in Jakarta?
I stay in south of Jakarta.
Right. When I went to Jakarta, I stayed at the Langham.
So
I think
yeah,
that's
Langham is like a 10-minute drive from my if no traffic, obviously. If traffic, maybe 30 minutes.
on the north or the south. Where was it again?
Langham is south. Langham
Uh,
is in the SCBD.
That was a lovely hotel.
Yeah,
Beautiful
yeah,
hotel. Great.
it's a very good
It
hotel.
started on about the 50th floor. That was the
Oh,
first floor of the hotel. It's quite high
hmm.
up, actually.
But what did
Had a
you come
great
here for?
view.
Just like literally stepping stone for you, or had some
Yeah,
work?
yeah. I was on the. This was last year. I was
Mm.
there. I was on the way back from the Ashes, and I just took a different route back home. And I went to Bali in about oh October, maybe November last year, but very briefly, just a quick stop over there. And I went to East Timor of all countries as well.
Interesting. First time there, East Timor, or been there before?
Did I tell you what happened in East Timor? I got there and I went to a restaurant. I'm sitting down there and by myself, and a man comes next to me on the next table with a woman, both like grandfather, grandmother like age, with what looked like a granddaughter. I'm sitting there and I'm looking at the man and I'm saying, he looked familiar to me. He looked like Mr. Juan Hortus, the former leader of the country, very much like him. But I thought, no, it can't be. So anyway, a bunch of young children walked up to him and took a photo. And then I thought, oh, it must be him because, popular in getting photographs. So I leant over and I said, oh, excuse me, I thought I recognized you. You're the former leader of the country, Mr. Juan Hortus. And he goes, no, 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 I'm not. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I'm the current leader
Okay.
of East Timor. And I've gone, what? And he said, yes, I was the previous leader many years ago, but I've been re-elected a 70% landslide back to be the leader of the country. I said, oh, wonderful. So we continued to talk. He and then invited me to sit next to him. I'm sitting next to him. I'm looking around. I don't see any entourage, no security, nobody around him. I looked out into the car park. There's not one single car in the car park. And I'm thinking, I asked him, where is your security? If you're the current leader of the country, you should be
Mm.
surrounded by security. He goes, oh, I walked from my palace up the road. I said, oh, okay. It was the most bizarre situation. He had no security at all.
Anyway, Domal, let's get back to cricket. There's a comment from
Okay, all
Kapil.
right. So, I wanted to tell you the story. So, couple Verma, irrespective of
That
today's
we can
match
discuss
result.
when we meet.
Let me look. Irrespective of today's match result, I still don't want Dubé, Jadeja posts the 2 minutes gives chance to Samson, Rinku. I agree. I mean, Rinku should have been in this team. Samson probably deserved to be there too. And Joswell should have been
See,
there for
I
sure.
would, for me, definitely like if going back with Kapil's comment, I would definitely say like yeah, Dubey has been given a sizable chance now, so in his place, definitely Rinku can come in. With Jadeja, we can look at. I would look at Samson. I would say is like well, he has been given multiple chances, like but every time he comes on the international arena, he fails. He just fails to shine. Maybe yeah, give like every time he goes back, he does very well in the IPL. But then again, coming back to international, like this, if I'm not wrong, has already happened 3 or 4 times. I even lost count. So Samson is like a big question mark to me. Maybe okay, one last time you give him a chance, and but if like then done and dusted, you cannot keep on going that circle again and again, again and again. If he's just not learning on the international circuit, then that's it.
Well,
But
it's definitely the last one for Kohli, I would say, and Sharma.
hmm.
It's their last
I,
World Cup.
I think they will stop playing T20s at all. If anyway they're not going to play the next T20 World Cup, then why would they play international T20? What do you feel?
Huh? I thought Kohli would have announced his retirement from T20 cricket after this World Cup. If they win the World Cup tonight, I reckon we probably see him bow out. Well, out of T20 cricket anyway.
Agree. No, if
He's still
that
he's
happens,
still
then you have 2 spots opening up immediately. So you have Jaiswal will definitely take 1 spot. Then maybe Gill would might take the other. Who knows?
yeah. The fact is that Kohli, if he left, to me, if you're going to finish your T20 career, finish it winning a final would be fantastic, and also be the leading run scorer in T20 cricket still as well. So yeah, he probably has every reason to make this his end result. I reckon. What do
Hmm.
you think?
Agree on that. So that's what I said in the beginning. Like if you see from an Indian team perspective, especially for Virat and Rohit, they have much more at stake. Like this would be the shining moment to step down, a very right time to step down, and winning it and stepping down would be something really great.
So what's this comment here? Big okay, big fan. Thank you. This
I think
comment:
he's
Dream
from Kannada.
11 team, Trump player, Bolo, sir, please. What?
I think is what Sudeep is trying to say is that what would be a Dream 11 team?
Right, from this World Cup
Let's say
or
from this World Cup, yeah.
uh okay. All right, let's see who you'd have to put in. Um in terms of openers, gee, you know what? I wouldn't
I
go
would say it would be
past it.
easier to start with the bowlers.
Well, no, I'd put the two Afghani opening bats as my dream team because they both played really well, and put
Hmm.
Rohit Sharma in there as well. I'd have Maxwell Stoinis would probably get a Guernsey because especially Stoinis, he did well. The keeper, well, it certainly won't be Matthew Wade. I would put Rishabh Pant in there. The bowlers, well, you'd have to put in
I would
definitely
put in Quinton de Kock there. he
who?
has he has been Quinton de Kock.
Yeah. As keeper, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Then of course you've got bowlers. You've got Bumrah. You've got. You'd have to include Nokia's got very good results from his games. Kuldeep Yadav would have to go in the spin bowling. Um, you know, Rashid Khan would get a go as well. He was fantastic.
Hmm. And he would act like a. I would actually add Akshar Patel also because uh, he has been impossible almost to score off
Yeah,
in his
yeah.
overs, and he has really
Yeah.
got the turnaround. So see here, my son over here. Come here, Azan. He's already in gear.
Who's going to win tonight?
Yeah.
Who's gonna win tonight?
India.
Oh, what's your name?
Arjun.
Spell it for me. O.
Aarzen.
Arden. Okay. I've got a street
Arzen,
near me
Arzen.
called
Two A's, Rzen.
Arden.
Yeah.
Because there's an Arden street near me. He's famous in Australia.
Okay. That's good.
So are
That's
you
good.
getting ready to go? You want to leave soon?
Yeah, I would take your permission, Norman. So
All right.
we'll head
Thank
out
you.
with my family. Maybe if you're still online, I can join you from
Okay.
the place itself.
Hopefully surrounded
That
by a
would
lot
be
of
good.
Indians celebrating.
Yeah, I'll show you the ambience over there.
Do that. Do
Okay,
that. Do that. All right.
sure, we'll do
Thanks.
that.
Thanks, bro. Thanks for joining.
Okay,
We'll go
bye
with you.
everyone watching. Do like and subscribe for sure, and continue watching. Good to
Thanks.
have eyes on cricket and or eyes on sports back again. Bye bye.
Thank you, bro. It's great having Brahma here, isn't it? He's off to watch the game between India and South Africa, what looks like from a pub there in Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm in Sydney, Australia. We're watching a match in Barbados, Bridgetown, Barbados, the country of Barbados. So today, each finalist will be hoping that let each other team choke. So, well, one's going to choke, and I don't think it'll be India. I'm pretty sure South Africa will not have that edge on the day of a World Cup final. They have not experienced it before, ever. India have on several occasions, both as winners and runners up. It's going to be definitely a day where I think India will come to the fore. If they bat first, get a score on the board, they'll put a lot of pressure on South Africa, and I don't think South Africa will come through. But it's there for South Africa to do their best to make a great fist at winning this. Let's see if they can do it. And we were going to be joined by David Graveney. I can see we're saying a lot of people saying come on India. A lot of people dressed with their Indian outfits there, which is interesting. So it's like Valley Hotel. Weather hasn't been great today. I'm just trying to find plenty of people dressed up. I'm seeing in South African outfits and in terms of Indian outfits on a lot of the social media as well. So please don't think Trump player. The Trump player will be, I think it'll be Hardik Pandya. Still, I will give 50-50 chance for both teams. I don't know. I think India got the firepower. They got the experience. Robert Sharma, very successful captain in this format, leads the way in the IPL. I think you're looking at. So look here, 90 Mile Bay. Now that Australia is out, let's go through the teams that are out. Early on, Sri Lanka, certainly Sri Lanka, New Zealand, Pakistan are out. Then you have West Indies falling out, leading the Super Eights in the Super Eights. Well, very sad that they got out there. There's 5 major teams dropped out. And Australia were knocked out, being 6. There really are Bangladesh as well, for being 7. Afghanistan being 8. So the top sides have gone by the wayside. Mustn't forget the commendable effort from the USA. They did pretty well for considering all. A lot of people barracking for South Africa and obviously India. Let's have a look at the numbers exactly. It's been a pretty big build up to this. You got to take your head off to the whole process, and I'm not particularly impressed with India. The way they beat Australia was an acid test. They did exceptionally well, and you got to remember how well they did do. It was quite an amazing effort. So let's have a quick look now at what cricket fellows say. Matches. Boomer is marking his run up, which is a sign that he's playing. It is interesting looking at the surface, looking at Ian Bishop believes the ball will come on nicely on the bat as he and Nasser Hussain deliver the pitch report before India takes us over in their quest to win. So he's saying that there is a pretty good chance that it'll be a nice batting pitch. Either way, it'll favour India as much as South Africa. So the pitch report is time for the Indian players to get in the huddle. An enthusiastic rower gives a pep talk and they finish cheerfully. That was only a few minutes ago. So we're looking at another 10 minutes before the toss. Crucial toss. Tosses are always crucial, especially in a final. If India win the toss, you would expect them to, I would argue, bat first, and likewise with South Africa. I think that Rowett would dearly love the pace of the so-called South African bowling attack, especially Barbados would accept, but certainly their team is left-arm bowlers, and that'll suit Rowett's clips over backward squarely, certainly. So let's have a quick look at the teams. Reza Hendricks has been pretty recent. Shamsi's bowled well. Rabada, we know, has bowled. Maharaj, pretty steady. Klassen, potential's there. Marco Jensen, who's the left-arm bowler I was referring to, he will be pivotal, I think, but he could well be also tonked. Rabada could be tonked. Nokia and Rabada will be the key bowlers, and Klassen and de Kock, Markham will be the main batsmen they're looking out for. De Kock, yes, Klassen hasn't performed at all at this time. Markham's been steady, as he normally always is. So that would be my thoughts on that as well. Tristan Stubbs, I should say, has not been exactly in the world on fire, but yeah, he's there as well. Everyone's marking their run-ups, but we're looking at the toss will happen in just on 10 minutes time. So the Indian team lineup will probably be as per program, which means Rohit Sharma will open with Virat Kohli, Punt at 3, Sky at 4, then 5, or we probably Dubé 6, Jadeja 7, Axar Patel, and then you've got Bumrah, of course, Bumrah with Kuldeep, and is it Siraj who normally plays as well? Yeah, it's a pretty damn good lineup. Let's just confirm the Indian lineup, what we think it'll be. Let's have a look here. And again, you would not think it would change. Where's the squad? Here's the squads. So, I mean, South Africa's got Markram. Gerald Coetzee hasn't been playing now. He's been an impressive IPL bowler. Today is the day when my waiting since 15 will be over. Just to hear that awesome commentary high up in the air. Dubé takes it. India wins the T20 title for the second time. Let's hope so. Soham Mullah. Let's hope that you're right. So, yeah, Cox has played. He's usually bowling well. To Cox there. Reza Hendricks is opening up. Marco Jensen, Klassen, Maharaj, Miller. He's pretty significant. He could turn the match. Nokia, Rabada, Shamsi, and Stubbs. Spare players were Ryan Rickleton. He's a spare batter. They had Bjorn Fortune. Joe Coetzee was also there. Otniel Bartman. Never heard of him before. Okay, that's the Indian team. Squads again. India. Well, obviously, Rohit Sharma's there to open up the batting with Kohli. Jaswal was in the squad. Dubé's an all-rounder, but I haven't seen him bowl very much, to be honest. So I don't know how much of an all-rounder he really is. Arshdeep Singh has bowled well. Bumrah bowled well. Hardik Pandya is the vice captain, which is impressive totally. Chahal's not played a game yet. Interesting. Dubé, well, not in the last few anyway. Dubé is injured. Asia's injured as well. Not Kohli. Kuldeep Yadav is significant. Should be there. Siraj, Punt, Axel Patel. Sanju Samson's there, and Sky is also there. He'll be in the team for sure. For sure. It's 11:53 at the moment. What's this? What are we on today? It's a very unusual looking message. MMS message. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. So is there rain today? No. Krishna Shukla, no rain at all. Clear day, apparently, which is all the good. Oh, we've got someone joining us. Hang on. David.
Sorry, I'm late.
That's all right. You're not late at all. I already had, I came on a bit earlier, actually, and I was talking with Brett Baram. But here we are. They're calling them the perennial chokers or the generational chokers versus the newfound chokers. It's a bizarre set of titles.
You just get your cards on the table, Norman. You don't want South Africa to win, basically.
But do you think South Africa are going to be able to mentally handle this final?
I think when you start in a dressing room where you've been written off by the whole world, you've got a free hit, haven't you? Really. So, yeah, I expect India to win. I don't expect South Africa to make the horrendous mistakes that England made in the semi-final. Yeah, India. I think people have to understand, certainly, sort of from my sort of like humble position, the pressure on Indian players is immense, and you know they've stood up. They've got younger players in the team. I think if they didn't have Bumrah, that would be an issue. You know, there's a few people not in form. You know, Kohli is not playing the way that he would normally play, but who's to say he might not get some runs? The one person who is sadly lacking in confidence, which I find a surprise, is Jadeja with his bowling.
Yeah,
he's definitely not quite sure where it's going at this stage.
but the fact that apparently the Barbados pitch is the ball's going to come onto the bat. They said it's a pretty reasonable pitch. It'll be fairly true. Will probably favour India because why will it favour India? Because the South African fast bowling will not scare India at all.
I don't think so, but I do think that, like Rohit said in the semi-final, you know, bat first, runs on the board. It's a very powerful weapon in sort of semi-final finals. I think there's a lot of power in the being out in the field together. Assuming, you know, it's a lot of pressure when you bat first. You've got to post the score, but I think to be in the field defending a score, you can apply a lot of pressure on, you know, the two batsmen are out there. So I would prefer to play the game batting first and fielding second.
So you're confirming what I thought. The team that wins the toss will bat.
Yeah, I thought that should have happened in the semi-final, but obviously didn't.
Well, I mean, it did for Afghanistan. Afghanistan won the toss and batted, but they just were thrashed.
Well, that was a wicket, to be fair, Norman. So
yeah, we won't look at that wicket, true. But the way that India beat Australia, beat England, you'd argue very impressive victories.
Yeah, but South Africa mentally have got through a barrier, haven't they? They've got to a semi-final, and
mind you, against a team that they thrashed, which if it had been a semi-final and beat Australia, that would be a breakthrough.
yeah. But I think it's just getting to a final, Norman. Whoever you have to
Yeah.
meet, you've got to beat who's in your way. But I'd have to say that I don't know how people the South African dressing room will say, "Oh well, we've done it. We've got to a final. Is that enough?" If they think that, they're going to lose. If they think, right, we've got that monkey off our back, we've got a free hit there, all the pressure's on India, the whole world expects India to win. I think that makes South Africa a very dangerous team.
Yeah, I can't see them. I'm being very nasty. I can see them crumbling in their batting. I can see that Kuldeep Yadav, Akshar Patel, Jadeja, Bumrah will clean them up.
Well, if it's a flat wicket, Norman, look out.
Yeah. I don't know, but what's your knowledge about the pitches of Barbados? Are they absolutely flat, or do they take spin?
I've disappeared over the bank stands a few times, I must admit. So, it's quite small ground.
It is.
So if you get it up in the air, then you can score lots of boundaries. What is the weather forecast, Norman?
Well, the weather's fine.
Good.
It's clear, sufficiently clear. No stoppages, no rain interruptions. It'll be
Good.
pretty much the match in its entirety.
Because like
There is no cyclone or a tornado warning going through the West Indies, but more going from east to north, and it's past Barbados. Barbados is on the very, very east, as you know. It's hitting more the western end of the Caribbean and heading towards America.
Yeah. So when they had the World Cup there, when Australia won against Sri Lanka, that game was severely disrupted by the weather and
very dark. Remember?
Yeah, it became a non-event. So hopefully this won't happen now. Much shorter game. You're only talking about 40 overs in total. I think it may. I think, Norman, this might have a few more twists than you think.
I have a deep annoyance with South Africa. I want them to lose. I can't help but say that.
Good.
I don't care.
I'm glad you got your cards on the table anyway.
Come on, David. You know what South Africa is like with the rugby. They're so damn, they boast like there's no tomorrow. I don't want them saying winning a World Cup, but we won't at the end of it.
You're right. They like it. They like gloating. They like also having a public holiday when they win tournaments as well. So.
But
it's good.
Even if South Africa did win this World Cup today, I don't think they're the number one World Cup team number one T20 team in the world. No way.
I just think, and that's why the decisions around England in the previous game were mystifying, to say the least. Is that I think if South Africa post half decent score, 160, 180 or something like that, and they're bowling, and India are 20 for 2, then look out. Anything could happen.
Now, it's just gone about half an hour before the play starts, and they're saying that in 7 out of the last 8 T20 World Cup finals, the team has won the toss, have won the game. Will it repeat today? That's a pretty big stat, isn't it?
What have they done when they've won the toss?
Well, it doesn't say what they've done. It just says 7 out of the 8 teams who won the toss have won the match. Now, I'm assuming most of them would have batted first.
I just think mentally, batting first, runs on the board, doesn't matter whether it's a World Cup final, league final, or whatever, unless there's something obvious with the wicket, you bat first.
I mean, there's no doubt that's what these two teams will do. I'm pretty sure they won't deviate from doing that because they both back their own teams in terms of their batting, and especially their opening batters. I'm just pulling up. What's the we've got Prime TV here. Well, it's a cable channel. What have you got the cricket on in
Sky?
England? Sky, right? Okay, so I'm just having a look here. I just want to see if they're out there in the middle. on this big game? Not much to say. The cricket's been fabulous. But even if you have to say something, what do you say?
Oh,
So
Ravi,
India won the
Ravi.
toss and have elected to bat. That says it
There you
all.
go.
India won the toss, elected to bat. Well, that says everything. I mean, that's to me. I almost say that's done. I
Well,
almost. I
they're,
can't. I can't see.
they've eliminated one of the banana skins that they could have. Norman, is that
Sorry?
South Africa suddenly post a score and they're having to chase it. That's now been eliminated. So,
Oh, God. The overall confidence of India winning the toss and batting, to me, their confidence will go through the roof.
yeah, if they see it's a flat wicket. But anyway, let's see what happens. I think that's, as you have said, I think that's a huge step for India to win the game.
Oh, as I just said before, 7 out of the 8 teams that have won the toss have won the match, and in this case, it's happened, and they've also decided to bat first. It's going to be an unbelievable bowling effort from the South African fast bowlers to turn this one around. I think
It will be, but it's not beyond there. I do think, Norman, this sort of, I'm trying to picture myself being in their dressing room, is that they will think this is a bit of a free hit. When you're so much the underdog as a team, you'll just, as if you're captain in that team, say, fine, everybody's written us off. Let's enjoy what we do and see what happens there.
I mean, I haven't heard the teams yet. I'll just check on that. Okay, India's unchanged, and I'm pretty sure that South Africa will be unchanged too. And why would you change the team if there's no real need to? The Rohit Sharma's smiling from ear to ear.
Shamsi is an alternative to the other seamer that South Africa use. So, you know, we haven't got the privilege to look in the wicket, Norman. So we will see what happens.
I'm going to be really nasty. I'm going to predict South Africa gets smacked.
Well, I look forward to our call tomorrow.
I do not think it'll be a close match.
Well, we'll exchange views during the course of the game.
Yeah, we'll come back on later. We'll have a look at it in review.
But no, I'm very happy. I'm very happy to come on after the game, Norman, if you want.
Okay, I'll either send you a new link or we'll use the existing link. We may use the existing link. So this is amazing. I mean, to me, you know, let's just quickly look at the teams for a moment. A lot of the South African players have had a fair degree of IPL experience. Yep. Almost all of them.
I think other than IPL, it's also the establishment of SA20, Norman, has given them a basis of playing high-level T20 cricket in front of big crowds, and they're comfortable with the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we even talked about it the other day. We talked about India's batting lineup and having Kohli batting at 3 and Punt down the order, and even Jaiswal opening. But India are so confident with their team. I'm predicting. Well, Kohli's hasn't performed so far, but he's got every chance to do so today. I'm very excited about watching them smack the South African fast bowling, because I think that this pitch, if it's a flat track, South Africa bowling, their fast bowlers, oh my God, they're going to go to all points. It makes it somewhat easier.
I think they're bowling a bit better than that, Norman. So I think
South Africa's bowling better than that.
One of the guys that could be a bit of a weak link is Jansen, because he sometimes, if it starts to swing or not swing, struggles to keep it on the island. So Rabada will do what he normally does.
I mean, Jansen did very well in the semi-final against some
Yeah,
pretty
no.
good Afghani batsmen. But I think against the Indian batters, they'll like to take him on.
Yeah. Well, they see him as a young guy who's playing in a final, so you want
Look,
to.
India will be chirping away there, saying they'll be chirping away, talking about chokers. They'll be talking about inexperience of finals. How does it feel, guys? You finally made a final. They'll be giving it to South Africa. Absolutely giving it to them.
Well, we shall see, Norman. So you send me the link, and we'll enjoy the match.
All right, David. But your prediction is who?
Oh, India, definitely.
Yeah, you have to vote. All right, we'll see. I'll send you a link for later. We'll have a bit of a debrief.
Okay.
Or
Cheers,
not
Norman.
debrief, a review.
Right. Send us an email, Norman. All right.
I will.
Okay. See you
Thanks,
later.
David. So David's a bit more skeptical than I was. And he'll bat first, hope it'll follow like 7. Oh, look. I can't see. So the teams are unchanged. Okay. So teams are unchanged. South Africa going with the same 11 that won in the semi-final. India was also unchanged. Dubé stays where he is. Kohli's opening up. What a final it's going to be. India have won the toss and have elected to bat. They'll be poker hoop. India will be. They go back to the beginning of the early matches, and I can't see anything other than Indian victory. India, sir, which team were you supporting? I'm supporting India. Ariane, I can't stand South Africa. India. Let's hope India win and win well. I want India to absolutely thump South Africa. Please don't let South Africa have a sniff. It's just not going to happen. Well, let's have a look at the story is here. Okay. Why have I got more going for there? 166. You've got to get more, So where are you from in Australia? I'm from Sydney, Australia, in Coogee Beach, Sydney, Australia. So, okay, we're looking at this here. Barbell and the sun. I'll go. It'll be well there. All right, let's see how we go. What does your heart and mind speak today, Carmel Verma? Well, heart says India, my head says India. I can't give South Africa any possibility here at all. No possibility whatsoever. No way. Oh, excuse me, there's 523 more subscribers to reach 50,000. 523. Have you got 523 friends? Get them to subscribe. Yeah, it's interesting. Been rather quiet. The Indian team South African team are in a huddle at the moment, with some 18 minutes to go. We got Dale Steyn there, who played for South Africa from 2004 to 2020. Good bowler that he was. Not sure whether he'd be too. Love you, Bob. Love, pardon, who's Bob? I'm Norman. So everyone, the 2014 under 19 men's to under 19. Other than they have not won any World Cups. Today's win for India will boost cricket not only for Indians but whereas win South Africa will boost their dying cricket. Well, dying or not dying, they're probably the only ones which will be happy about South Africa, I'm afraid. Australia, well, we're already out, so yeah. Congratulations, India, to win by 62 runs. Gaming with WA says, congratulations, India, to win by 62 runs. It's a fair possibility. Showing the dismissals have got out the Afghani batsmen. They all bowled well. That was the Afghani side who were off a huge high for making the semi-final, but not getting through. Okay. Path Singh, do you think India batting first slow pitch can it backfire as it did in the Cricket World Cup 23 final? That's well, sadly, India didn't win the toss and bat there. Australia won the toss and put them in the bowl. Went to bowl first. So no, that wasn't. India didn't win the toss and bat. And I don't think it's going to backfire this time. I won't backfire. I'm pretty well for sure. Who we got here? Looks like Sky.
It's just another game, but there's definitely pressure. But when there's no pressure, there's no fun. You've got a big role to play in this side. You max the middle overs, which is a difficult assignment. How excited are you about that?
Surya Kumar, he's
I've always enjoyed batting at that situation, batting at that number.
Scored 47 against England.
So I really love that role. Are you the kind who takes a close look at the pitch, looks at the wind direction, sort of decides what are the shots that are on today, what are not?
All right, guys.
Yeah, wind direction
So
definitely.
Surya Kumar, talking about him and his ability to handle it, which should be pretty big.
And I just back myself. How important is it for someone like you to be aware that you've got a very good playing record against South Africa? Back of the mind, yeah, it feels really good. But when you come on the ground, you have to start from scratch. Conversations last night? Sleep well, stay fresh, stay hydrated. Yeah. And that's a good thought. Actually, hope it goes well for you.
Very stressful for South Africa. Sharma's giving his son a good shot.
Today, Rohit Sharma has been a great captain throughout the tournament, but a lot must be said for Rahul Dravid in his last outing.
Great photos of the huddle. I love these photos of the huddle. It's a great scene.
He's not a man who believes that it needed to be done for him. We've heard him before, but the beauty about Rahul Dravid is he's left the Indian team in a much stronger place than what it was when he was there. And that's what you
it's a great
a good legacy, a good set of players, and that's what whoever the coach is will be inheriting from. It's been beautiful to see how he's taken over the Indian team and done what he's done over a period of 3 years.
I heard an interview he did where he spoke about Virat Kohli and his performance in this World Cup. Unselfish, a team man, were words that he used in that. And the way he's played is exactly what his team has needed. How do you think he's going to go today?
He is going to go down swinging just like
massive pressure. Massive pressure.
He's made Indian team. He just made sure that they play big shots. And the one
massive pressure.
Under scrutiny a little bit is Virat Kohli.
Your top three players from each side for today. Okay.
India will be in such a command.
Path Singh. I would say India, definitely Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya and Bumrah. Rohit Sharma, Hardik Pandya and Bumrah. From South Africa, Quinton de Kock probably. I think David Miller will be very important to them. And the bowlers, of course, with Rabada being the most important. So probably Quinton de Kock, David Miller and Rabada. They're my six.
He's up for any match that he plays. Anytime you watch him, he's such
massive pressure on these teams.
And if he can bat,
Akshar Patel's taken 3 wickets in the last match in England. Looked great. India bowled well, batted well against Australia and England leading into this match. Great form to take on against South Africa. Whereas South Africa beat Afghanistan, even though they'd done very well, were very much on a huge high coming down for their game. Were a bit flat and they got out very cheaply against South Africa. So it Australia didn't have a test in the semi-final. They did against Australia, and they lost the previous World Cup.
The electricity in this ground is palpable. We are so excited for this, the grand final, the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup. It is India taking on South Africa. Stay with us. Coming up next, the anthems.
Laurel, Weeks, Walcott stand, the three W's, which is the stand there in names of Worrell. That's in Frank Worrell, Weeks, and Walcott. Very significant. Very, very significant. Very, very significant. All right. So I might allow the game to start, and I might come back later. We'll see how we go. We've got some people. Okay. So even Maharaj and India has some kind of jinx against left arm spinners. Jansen with the new ball will be a challenge too. Not for the Indian batsman, I don't think at all.
Juicy. Gillette Lab.
Student commercials, kid shopping, I can't stand it. In 2007 T20 World Cup final, India won the toss and decided to bat first and won the match. In 2024 T20 World Cup final, India won the toss, decided to bat first. It's a great sign. Very, very positive sign indeed. You have to think XYZ is cello. Who's XYZ? So
To verify your identity,
it's a massive day here. Surya Kumar said, playing in the finals is not easy. To say it's just another game. It's very strong points.
It's bright and sunny morning here at the Kensington Oval.
Yeah, the teams are,
The atmosphere
both teams are unchanged.
is electrifying. There's a lot of noise, a lot of support for both the sides. South Africa, in their first final, will play the former champions, India.
Just putting up the names of these players.
India, who won the toss, had no hesitation in batting first.
No hesitation. That's a good sign.
The rapid attack of the contestants. Both teams unbeaten on their way to the final. South Africa having played some very good cricket. India have been a dominating team.
Team unchanged.
You can see their road to the final. South Africa came from Trinidad after beating Afghanistan. And India comprehensively beating them in the final.
Both teams are unchanged.
Barbados.
Chris Gales holding up the.
Earlier by the Honourable Prime Minister, Mia Motley, and the Universe boss, Christopher Gale.
There we are.
The teams are playing for.
Great to see Chris Gale holding the trophy. Pant should be responsible. He's throwing his weight everywhere. Yeah, let's hope XYZ you're right. We'll leave you live in the match after the match. I should be. I may even say live now. I'm just not sure how we're going to go.
So the two teams
What's
will come out now for the national anthems. India.
coming out for the national anthems?
This is what they've been very
So let's see.
be able to walk out the Kensington in Barbados in the 29th in black.
Great to see live. Great to see live.
Coming up to the final, they've been tested at times. I have to say the two best teams take center stage in the World Cup final. So we're all set now for the national anthems.
Hi, bye, Hari, bye, blah. I'm not sure what you're saying there, but okay. Looking at the great picture that shows South Africa and India playing with the teams and the mascots and national anthems. About to have the pitch looks white as looks like a batting paradise to us. Small boundaries. Should see some fireworks, I would say. I think India will win today. India is stronger because they won all matches easily. Because they got the wood on them a little bit. I would argue.
The anthems of India, followed by South Africa.
All right, guys. All right, guys. It's time to watch the match. See you later, okay? All the best, guys. You can join me after. What's from there? Why Australia is out in the World Cup? I think Australia should. Pat Cummins can't captain all formats. Not possible. It's too much. That's why he's not there. South African anthem's pretty cool. Michael Jensen's bloody tall. It's Bruce Anderson. That counts as a better captain than Matt Barge. I probably have to agree with that. All right, everyone. We'll talk after the match. Hopefully, we'll have a great discussion on how good India are. We'll talk later. All the best. Enjoy the match. Enjoy watching the match. Go India.